Okay, I'm live again. This is my first ever. This is my first episode for first live for 2026, and I hope you are having a great 2026 so far. This is my podcast, and I can't decide if I want to rename it back to the Content Beach or just go with the Digital Systems Operator podcast. But clearly, that was my old intro music. So yeah, so this is kind of like starting to become a journal, and as much as I want to do a bit more planned episode, I think I should go with what I do best, which is the impromptu lives like this one. Okay, so again, this is Raya, and you can visit my website, www.wethrivebydesign.com. And today, let's just talk about. So, what do you want to talk about? Okay, so earlier, just a while ago, I was creating a tutorial for a client on how to create her own content. So when I talk to clients, I know how important it is to create content, but I don't want to push them into, hey, hire me to do these things for you. And I'm actually willing to show the process of how to do it by themselves. I mean, the tech side of it, it's fairly easy if you know what you're doing and if you have the time to edit and to if you have time to spare outside of everything that you're doing. Just I sound bitter, but just do it by yourself. Just kidding. Okay, yeah, but it's very important that you learn how to do these things by yourself, because if it's the core thing of what you do, is you should be able to at least know at least one way of sharing your expertise. And this is funny because yesterday I was no, 2 days ago had a discovery call, and a client was asking about him launching a course. Oh yeah, so let's talk about this first. So this is a well-known I'd say a thought leader, and he's got all these big names attached to his name, and he wants to launch a course, but he wants to follow one of those $100,000 in 30 days kind of things. And again, nothing wrong with that if that is the client's um, way of making money. That's completely respect that. But the reason why I mentioned that was I was discussing the importance of digital content marketing for the brand and for the legacy of his name, because you wouldn't want to attach something. He's in a big name. He's also an author. But if you, depending of course on the, this is very tricky again to discuss. I always filter my thoughts, but depending on how you want to position your product, and depending on your target market, for example, your target are I'd say B2B, business to business. Excuse me. Okay, so if your target is B2B and you do hype marketing, and usually B2B businesses, B2B marketing has, they have kind of decision makers and other stakeholders before they actually buy the product. So it's another way of looking at it. Why it is, why it needs kind of strategic way of presenting these offerings. And he also mentioned, yeah, so back to digital content marketing. Yeah, so I mentioned like about having his own podcast and YouTube channels. And he asked me like, okay, but how does that I missed this. Like it was very basic for me to know that you have the YouTube channel, you have the podcast, and you have these courses, you have these landing pages, you have your website. And he asked, like, okay, but how does that make me money? And I was thinking, like, how can he miss it? But I actually missed that. It was a very basic question. And I said that it's because of his thought authority when people see that and everything. But I forgot to say that through these channels of organic way of presenting your content is you have the call to actions. And these call to actions will of course bring them over to wherever you want them to go. So for example, a nutritionist client that I created a tutorial for, like she has this um webinar that she presented to her audience, and then we're going to republish. She's asking how to republish it for YouTube and everything. But the funny thing is, the funny thing there was, connecting it with the discovery call. I missed it. You have to have the call to action there. So whatever you presented during the video, for example, you have to have the call to action to bring them over to your website so they can interact with your content. So if you have freebie or you have um, a new course that launching, is you will direct them to a property that you own, which is your website. And that's what I missed. And I was been thinking, should I even say that? I probably would. Okay, so moving back to whatever I was talking about earlier. So having your content is very important. So for example, so I did this podcast, this blog post after I created the tutorial. So how coaches and educators can turn one video into a week of content. So I'll make this very basic. I'll just link my blog post for the step by step. It's not gated. You don't have to opt into anything. But just to give you an overview, so by the end of the process, you will be able to turn one core video into both long form and short form content. And you'll be able to create YouTube videos, shorts, Instagram posts, carousels, LinkedIn posts, a blog post, and a newsletter based on that one piece of content that you created, which is ideally 5 minutes minimum. Okay, now we go back to, we start with step one. So you start with one core video. And best resources for this, for your core video, would be a webinar recording, a Zoom client call, of course, with permission. Don't show their faces if they don't want to be on the video. But ideally, it should just be you, unless it's a podcast, two-person guest, or three, or whichever, or how many guests that you have, as long as they have permission. And it should be 5 to 20-minute video of you explaining a key idea. And framing tip, try to record yourself centered in the frame, speaking directly to the camera. And this makes repurposing much easier later. And now that I'm recording this podcast and I am actually live, and I'm thinking, why didn't I turn on my camera so I can just make this another video tutorial? But that's beside the point. Okay, step 2, you upload the video to Descript. So Descript acts as your main editing hub. Okay, so what Descript does well, it automatically transcribes your video, which lets you edit video by editing text and remove filler words easily. Either just remove it from the transcript or just remove it from the video itself. It's very automated. And then the script also creates captions and layouts quickly. Okay. And then after that, so you open the script, upload your video, and wait for the automatic transcription to finish. All right. Okay. Step three, you have to clean the transcript. So before editing clips, clean the content. You have to remove the filler words like and repeated phrases. If I were to clean my own audios, that would be like about 100 of to remove. And you also have to fix misspellings and capitalizations, and you have to read through the transcript while scrubbing the video. That's just, it's AI, it's auto generated, and human in the loop, you have to check it. Okay. So, why this matters? Any edits you make in the transcript automatically apply to the video itself. Okay. And number four, you have to adjust the video layout. And if you plan to publish the long form video on YouTube, you have to choose a layout where your face is visible and centered. Okay, have a clean background and brand color if it's possible. Avoid layouts where your face becomes too small or too cropped. Okay. Step five, you have to add captions or subtitles. Now, this is optional because if you publish it on YouTube, they have the automated captioning. So, I still suggest that you add captions because it's for clarity, accessibility, and viewer retention. Because not everyone would be able to turn on the captioning, especially if they're watching TV and they're watching your video on YouTube and they have to grab the remote, turn on the caption. But if you already have the caption, so much better. Okay, so best practices, use a thick, readable font and should be high contrast, light text on dark background or vice versa. And make sure captions do not, of course, cover your face. And then you just adjust as needed. Now, step six, you have to add chapters for long form video. And inside the script, it's fairly easy. Just go to AI tools under Lord, select auto add chapters, and then review and insert the chapters, and then copy timestamps and save them for YouTube. So it's important because they improve YouTube SEO and they increase viewer retention. Okay, still there? Okay, step seven, generate highlights and clips. And this is where short form content comes in. So ask the script to generate around 10 highlights, and these are short key moments pulled from the video. Again, you have to review that those clips actually make sense because sometimes these AI, they just pull something from middle of the sentence or a thought and it just doesn't make any sense, or your full statement could be taken out of context and you wouldn't want that. Right. So next, you have to um, use the create clips feature, and the script automatically creates multiple vertical videos. And now you have ready to edit short form videos. So step 8, create a reusable short form layout. To save time long term, adjust one clip and then the background color, caption style, text color. You have to brand it, and then once it looks right, you have to save it as a new layout pack and you have to name it clearly. Okay, so you can just choose it the next time. You can now apply the same layout to all clips instantly. Okay, so step 9, we still have 9, oh, 6 steps. Okay, step 9, export your videos. Where's my, okay, just adding sound effects here so we don't get bored. Wink. Okay, step 9, export your videos. You have to export it in high quality. Maximum quality 4K if it's available, and it should be high bit rate. Just the maximum that you can do, because it allows it will allow you to be it will allow you to crop later on. Okay. And step 10, oops, sorry. So step 10, upload the long form video to YouTube. So in YouTube Studio, upload a video and you add a clear searchable title, keyword rich description with a call to action, website link, and free resource or community link if you have that. Then next, you add chapters. Okay, so you have to add the chapters, the timestamps, and then you add it to playlist. Don't mark it as made for kids. Otherwise, only kids will see your videos. Uh, Anyone can see, also kids, but it wouldn't have the same reach if it was marked as not made for kids. But don't restrict your video viewers to just 18 up. Yeah. Okay. Choose visibility, private, unlisted, or public. Of course, you want it public and then you can schedule it ahead. And key reminder, content generates revenue indirectly through through trust and consistency, not instantly from a single video. So one piece of video might be nothing, but it's going to compound over time. Just think of it as part of doing business that you have to show up and share what you know, and it's going to compound later on. Okay. Now, step 11, optional, use Opus Clip for faster output. Now, if you're going by the volume and you want to use direct publishing from Opus Clip, it's good too. Okay, I don't have any affiliate link for this, but Opus Clip is good also for it can insert B-rolls directly, auto B-rolls to your content, to your videos. Okay. So, best use cases, clients who require many clips and faster, more automated workflows. And how to use it efficiently. Trim only the section that you need because the credits there are per minute. So if you only need like 3 short form videos and you upload a 1 hour video, 60 minutes, that's going to eat up all your credits and you're gonna run out of credits. Okay, so let Opus generate the clips and customize the branding if needed. Okay. Now, step 12. Repurpose the transcript into written content. So use the same transcript that we had from the script. And with ChatGPT, ask it, ask it to prompt. Oh, sorry, I'm hanging now. With ChatGPT, prompt for 5 Instagram posts, 2 Instagram carousels. Oops, where is it? Okay, 2 LinkedIn posts and okay, 2 LinkedIn posts, 1 blog post, and 1 email newsletter. Important rule again, always review and edit the AI output. Never publish without checking accuracy, the tone, and the links. Because sometimes, as I've said, it hallucinates. Okay, we don't want that. And then next would be step 13, schedule and automate publishing. Use scheduling tools such as Buffer or Opus Clip Pro, which is built in scheduling. And for engagement and automation, use ManyChat for comment to DM links. Example, comment nutrition, and I'll send you the link. So those things, you don't have to manually send them the link after they comment. It's all automated and it all has to be connected to your CRM so you can track them later on. And next, step 14, track and improve. Okay, analytics. So, content repurposing has 3 stages. Number 1, we have the creation, which is what we just discussed. And then part 2 would be the publishing. So, publishing is where you have to be crafty with your copy, what works, what doesn't work, the hashtags. If for other platforms, YouTube Shorts, hashtag still works. Instagram, consider it dead there. And then, so the third stage would be the analytics. So after you publish, is that's where you track the views, you watch time, the saves, comments, click throughs. Note, you have to repost what works and improve what doesn't. So that's a whole lot of things to do just for one video. So it takes time and it takes brain power actually to publish it. So if you think that, oh, I can just do it by myself, okay, be my guest, do it. Do it. Because this is it's a whole lot of process. For example, the reason why I'm doing this podcast by myself in one go is I don't have the time to go back and edit and listen to my no to listen to myself again. Oh, someone's watching. Oh, hi. I was just and I was just talking to myself here. But thank you. For the first time, you are the first ever one who's listening to. Okay, so I'm not alone. I don't think this is my daughter, and I trust that this is not my daughter. Okay, but I'm actually on the final notes of this live, and yeah, now I'm conscious. Don't wanna wanna talk anymore. Okay, but okay, so where am I? Okay, so yeah, so repost what works and improve what doesn't. See, I wasn't looking at my dashboard here, but okay, final notes. One long form video can take 3 to 5 hours initially, depending on the edits. But you can do it if you want to DIY it. Just do it. You just have to be consistent. So the speed improves with repetition, and then consistency compounds results. And your real life experience is what makes this content valuable. Also, if I may add that I forgot earlier, is from if you make your long form video, you can just extract the audio and then automatically that can be a podcast. But that's in a whole another workflow that can be for the next episode. So at some point, every coach or educator reaches, the decision. You can continue manually recreating content each week, or you can build a system that supports your work long term. And this process that I just discussed, it gives you the structure to do either, whether you choose to implement it yourself or have it build it for you. The goal is the same. You have to be consistent, intentional content that reflects your expertise and supports your business without unnecessary friction. This is the first time that I had a guest. Hello, I'm just so happy. Okay, but that's it. So this is okay. I think I commented. Oh, thank you for liking the show, and I will follow you too. Thank you for being here. Okay, so this is Raya, and you can visit my website www.wethrivebydesign.com. I don't have any affiliate links whatsoever. Thank you for joining me today. Bye. Oh.